Hello, everyone, and welcome to your risk management as applied safety, security, and sanitation subject. And I will be your professor, Mr. Krip Anthony A. Ramos. And for this session, we will be talking about the safety and sanitation in the food industry. Okay, so as we start the discussion, of course, no, if you will ponder no, kung iisipin natin, many people think that safety and sanitation are, of course, yung back of the house issues, no, which will only concern yung mga chefs, no, stewards, or even yung mga sanitation inspectors. But as future hospitality managers, kagaya ninyo, no, you must be able to understand that every safety or sanitation failure will always be a business risk. Alam naman natin yan, no? Because one may actually threaten no your legal standing, your finances, and even your brand reputation pagdating po ng araw. So, of course, no, let's start our discussion with the conceptual link no to risk management. Kasi in risk management, we ask four basic questions, no? Una, what can go wrong? Anong pwedeng mangyaring hindi ka kanais-nais? Kung ayun yung unang tanong, no? Pangalawang tanong, how likely is it? No? Mangyayari ba talaga siya? Gaano kalaki ang chance na mangyari siya? At kung mangyari siya, the third question, what is the impact? No, of this risk, and of course, how do we? The fourth question will be, how do we control or reduce the risk? No, so as we discuss this, of course, no, yung safety and sanitation function or safety and sanitation will actually function as operational risk controls. No, they are the daily practices that prevent nga po yung mga hazards from becoming crisis. No? So as much as possible, maiwasan na kaagad yun so that hindi na magkaroon ng ng problema later on. So whenever we're talking about this, syempre we must be able to consider the following types of risks that are involved no pagdating po rito sa usapin na ito. So yung number one ay yung legal risk no na kung saan there will be syempre no non-compliance with the Department of Health, Food and Drug Administration, no, and of course, no, yung local government sanitation offices that can lead, of course, no, to fines and even pwede pa mapasara, no, yung ating pong business, and of course, yung loss of permits kung sakali man nagranta na tayo nito. That's the legal risk. That's number one. Number two ay tatawag po natin na reputational risk. Kasi alam naman natin no, na that as of the moment, we are already in the age of digitalization, Facebook, TikTok, no, and even Google reviews, no. And even if no isa lang ang mag-viral na post natin that will show of course yung cockroach or spoiled food can definitely destroy a business overnight. No? So pwedeng-pwede niya sirain ito kahit na gaano kaganda or kahit na gaano karami pa na yung sinservan nito. Alam naman natin yan, hindi ba? At yung, of course, yung panghuli ay yung financial risk. 'Di ba? Ano ba yung mga financial risk? Alam naman natin no that ulitin natin no there might be a situation of closure, 'di ba? Penalties. Pwede tayong magkaroon ng lawsuits or kasuhan, and of course, yung loss of customer trust directly affect yung profitability ng ating pong business. Okay? So as we discussed this also, no, let's localize it at tignan natin in the Philippine context. So alam naman natin no, that in our country, we operate in a tropical climate which accelerates so, syempre, yung food spoilage and of course, no, it encourages yung pest infestation. So also, if we're talking about the Philippines, alam naman natin that we have dense urban food clusters, kagaya halimbawa ng Metro Manila, ng Cebu, and even Davao, where computation is high and inspections karaniwan ay frequent. No? And of course, in terms of local government units, they actually play a very strong role no, in terms of enforcement through city health offices or municipality, kung sakali mga municipality siya, and even yung sanitation offices. So if magbabalik tanaw tayo no actually kung kayo ay aware no pag pinag-uusapan natin halimbawa yung mga videos over the internet, you may recall some of the real life example no yung una diyan yung food stalls no na kung saan they were temporarily closed during the Sinulog or Dinagyang festivals due to sanitation violations, or even yung no yung mga small restaurants that actually suffered massive losses simply because nag-viral sila sa Facebook that actually expose no yung kanila pong unsanitary conditions. Now, no, syempre as we continue our discussion, let me ask you a question to reflect on. Okay? Why is safety and sanitation not just a kitchen issue but also a strategic risk management concern? Okay? So malalaman natin 'yan as we go along the way. All right. So, one of the biggest risks in hospitality industry ay yung tinatawag natin na foodborne illness. Kagaya ng ating naging discussion nung inyong previous ng inyong previous classes. So, in the Philippines, the common food service risk include the following. No, yung number one dyan ay yung improper food storage and even a broken cold chain. Second, yung cross-contamination kung tawagin, especially from wet markets up until to the kitchen. Okay? And of course, yung poor personal hygiene practices among the staff na nagtatrabaho doon sa lugar na naghahawak ng ating pong mga pagkain. And with this, syempre this will never be a minor mistake kapag pinag-uusapan po natin because they are high likelihood and they are high impact risk. And this is why yung food safety protocols po natin serve as risk controls. Okay? So, this ay yung mga risk control na binabanggit natin will actually include the following. So, nandyan yung number one, yung tinatawag po natin na standard operating procedures, also known as your SOPs. You also have your personal hygiene standards, and of course, your regular cleaning and sanitizing schedule. So, for example, in the in our country, the FDA or the Food and Drug Administration Philippines regularly issues yung advisories during summer months. Alam naman natin yun yung about increased food spoilage risk because there have been outbreak cases linked to carinderias and even yung mga buffet style na services where yung food natin is exposed for long period of time. Okay, so that's actually our best example pag pinag-uusapan natin itong food safety protocols as your risk control. Okay? Sige po. Also, syempre as we continue our discussion from a risk management lens, alam naman natin that hazard identification, pag ginagawa natin hazard identification, we all know that it will pertain to contaminated food. Risk assessment, syempre, alam naman natin that there is high likelihood and it is high impact. Okay? And of course, under the control measures, yung SOPs, staff training, and even monitoring and all right. So this only shows that food safety is a structured risk management in action. Okay. Now, as we also as we discuss, let us move to yung machines and equipment, which is commonly another overlooked na mga risk area because alam naman natin that in hospitality operations we use yung kutsilyo, syempre knives, slicers, mixers, ovens, ranges, and even ating pong mga conveyors ang araw-araw. Most especially pagdating ng araw na kayo po ay magtatrabaho and you will be hospitality managers. And these tools increase your productivity. But also, kahit na kahit na masabi natin na that these materials or even equipment are dito for productivity, alam natin that kung hindi ito na nahandle ng maayos, this may introduce yung mga injury at saka contamination risk. Okay? So in order for us to prevent that, syempre yung pagkakaroon natin ng regular inspection and maintenance is a risk mitigation strategy and not an optional expense kasi pag hindi natin ito ginawa most likely it will pose a critical problem. Okay? So alam natin pag ginagawa po natin ito that documentation will always be critical, especially during audits and even LGU inspections para ma-make sure that we are complying. So one good example sa ating bansa is that after the Boracay rehabilitation, yung hotel kitchens na nandun sa Boracay, they were required to upgrade yung kanila pong mga equipment to meet safety and sanitation standards. And this situation will show us how equipment safety is always tied to regulatory risk. Okay? Sige po. So next, syempre alam natin that equipment can become contamination vectors as well because yung high-risk equipment will include yung meat slicers natin, blenders, and even ice machines na karaniwang ginagamit pag pinag-uusapan po natin yung hospitality management and of course sa kitchen. Okay? And there have been documented cases of contaminated ice in the Philippines, kagaya sa mga budget hotels and bars that will lead dun sa LGU closure orders due to unsanitary ice production. So nangyari na siya nangyayari siya sa Pilipinas mga kapatid. Okay? Sige po. And of course, another major risk factor is yung tinatawag po natin na human error, most especially among the contractual or even yung high turnover staff. Kasi again, yung burn and cut injuries, they are common, no, in the Philippine kitchens due to the following, no. So una, kapag hindi na train ng maayos, no, yung ating pong mga staff, problema po siya, no. Second ay yung non-use of PPE, na kung pinarescribe ito, kaya nga 'di ba, halimbawa in your subject kitchen essential, laging binabanggit sa inyo na gumamit kayo ng ano, no, gumamit kayo ng mga PPE, otherwise magkakaroon kayo ng problema or pwede kayo mag-pose ng risk sa inyo pong ano, no, hinahandle na pagkain, and even doon po sa inyo mong mga sarili. And of course, yung absence po ng ating standardized procedures. So, also, no, syempre, yaman din laman at pinag-uusapan natin tong ano, no, tong bagay na ito. Syempre, let me also give you another point of reflection. No, bakit kaya, no? Pag pinag-usapan natin yung high employee turnover in the Philippine restaurants, they actually increase yung equipment-related risk. No, so ano kayang kadahilanan? You may leave your comment, no, below dito sa ating pong video. Okay. So as we continue, alam natin that ano no yung emergency shut-off systems, no, fire extinguishers, and even yung ating mga first aid readiness are essential para mahiwasan natin yung ano no yung ating pong mga problema, most especially in our risk and even hazards, okay? Because we have seen that gas leaks in small restaurants, no, especially in public markets, will actually result in fire and injuries. Okay? So these incidents are not only accidents, no? Hindi lang siya aksidente, they are unmanaged risk. Ibig sabihin, there ano no, pwede sanang maiwasan ito kung sakali mang naayos or ano no na manage po ito ng ano no ng hospitality manager nang naaayon buntun sa procedure. Okay? Sige po. So, as we also continue, another critical risk area ay yung tinatawag po natin na ano no na waste management. So, example diyan, syempre no in the Philippines, alam natin that the restaurants in the Philippines often face yung following, no? So number one ay syempre we have limited space. Number two, yung informal waste collection systems, and even yung ano no yung uneven enforcement across LGUs, nagbabago-bago siya. Kaya depende kung nasaan ka, most likely no nagiging ano na siya no nagiging case to case basis kung paano ka magko-comply. Wala, sa matter of fact, syempre, mas maganda sana kung pare-pareho in every LGU. Ayan. Also, no, pagdating naman sa ano, no, pagdating naman po sa ating risk management perspective, alam natin that the poor waste management will create the following, no, yung environmental risk, yung legal non-compliance risk, and of course, yung community relations risk. And of course, syempre no kahit na pinag-uusapan natin ito, syempre pwede nating pag-usapan itong ano no itong best practices na ginagawa most especially sa Pilipinas. So nandiyan yung ano no yung waste segregation na inihihiwalay na nabubulok sa hindi nabubulok, no, yung recycling initiatives, yung composting especially yung farm to table restaurants, at saka yung food donation programs, and even yung proper grease trap installation. Examples nito no yung halimbawa yung mga hotels in Tagaytay and even Palawan, no, they actually composting yung kanila pong kitchen waste, and fast food chains were being fined for grease clogging sewer lines. So isa yun sa ano no or isa yun sa or dalawa yun sa magandang halimbawa no na ginagawa sa Pilipinas. Okay? Sige po. So in terms of compliance and the regulatory framework, meron tayong mga kilos na merong ano no na nag-exist sa Pilipinas. Nandiyan yung RA 9003, also known as your Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. You also have your Republic Act number 9275, also known as the Clean Water Act and the Food Donation Act of 2009. So with this, kailangan nating mag-comply sa kung ano sinasabi ng batas. Otherwise, maaari tayong magkaroon ng problema. Okay? So also, may we reflect on another question? No, should waste management be viewed as a cost or as a long-term risk reduction investment? Okay? Kasi malaking bagay ito kapag pinag-uusapan natin ang hospitality management. Okay? Sige po. So let's continue mga kapatid. So another thing no na visible at saka damaging operational risk ay tinatawag natin na pest infestation. So kagaya halimbawa ng ano no ng mga daga, rodents, cockroaches, and even flies no that actually directly affect yung following no. So you have your food safety, your brand image, and regulatory compliance. Kasi people, if you will notice no or if you may recall, yung mga viral videos of rats in fast food kitchens will actually lead to nationwide backlash and loss of consumer or customer trust, no? Kasi kapag again, pag maging viral na 'yan, makita halimbawa na merong daga, merong ipis, most likely no, tapos ang negosyo pagdating sa usapin na yan. Okay? So, syempre, dahil nga pinag-uusapan na rin natin yung ano no yung pest management. So, isa sa magandang ano no magandang tignan no na framework ay yung integrated pest management, no. So, ano po example po nito or ano po yung gagawin dito? So, you have your PMC. So, number one ay yung prevention, no. That will include sanitation, exclusion, and of course yung proper waste handling. After your prevention, no, you may also do monitoring, which will require you to ano no to have regular inspections, no, using of traps and even pest logs. Okay. Also, your control, the last step will be to control, which is of course no yung paggamit po na or hingi ng tulong sa mga licensed pest control providers at saka yung control the pesticide use at ginagamit daw po ito sa ano no sa syempre kung wala nang choice tsaka lang po tayo gagamit ng pesticide para ma-make sure natin no na hindi talaga magkakaroon ng problema pagdating doon sa safety ng pagkain. And in the Philippine context, yung DOH at saka FDA, actually they are doing inspections, no? Na kung saan itong mga inspections na to ay nagre-require ng documentation ng accredited pest control providers. Kaya nga sinasabi that yung paggamit ng pesticide ng sarili natin dapat case to case basis lang siya or pinakahuling ano siya no point no na gagawin mo. Okay? Ayan. So of course, isa rin sa ano no sa malaking usapin pagdating sa ano no sa safety and sanitation ay yung ating pong kitchen layout and yung design. Okay? Because design itself, it is a preventive risk control. Because alam naman natin that a good design for your kitchen will reduce yung human error no and it will improve yung workflow efficiency. So key considerations para ano no para makakuha tayo ng isang maayos na kitchen layout and design is that one yung ating ano no yung ating pong traffic flow at saka yung work zones no that is by separating your hot and cold zones that will of course no prevent yung collisions and injuries, and this is especially important in small based food stalls no that are common in the Philippines. Okay, second no pwede rin natin pag-usapan yung flooring and lighting kasi nga yung mga sleep-resistant floors and adequate lighting, they are considered to be essential, no? Particularly during the rainy season, wherein madalas, no, na merong mga nadudulas at saka mga nadadapa simply because maano, no, madulas ang sahig. Okay? Also, nandyan din po yung ating ano, no, yung ating pong appliance selection and storage. Ito po yung pagkakaroon ng ergonomic design which is actually yung safe, no? And yung safe storage ng ating pong heavy items. So pag ginagawa natin meron tayo nito, it will definitely help us to reduce yung ano no yung musculoskeletal injuries no na merong kinalaman sa ating mga buto-buto no and even po yung sa ating pong muscles. Okay? So alam din natin no that whenever we're talking about whenever we're talking about safety and sanitation, yung mga safety signs are actually also visual risk communication tools because they overcome yung language barriers kasi nga kung mapapansin niyo pag gumagamit tayo ng mga signages, most likely no marami itong language na nakapabilang dito. And of course, it will reinforce yung ating pong safety culture. Okay? So pagdating dito, syempre no nagbibigay rin siya ng ano no ng constant reminders pagdating po sa usapin po ng ating pong ano no ng ating pong mga customers and ating mga consumers. So in the Philippines, no, syempre alam naman natin 'yan, yung mga restaurants natin, ito po yung mga common signs na meron po tayo. Yung food safety and hygiene signs, yung equipment safety signs, your general safety signs, and of course, yung ating pong chemical safety signs. And many of these are actually mandatory requirements during sanitary permit inspections by the LGUs. Kaya siya ginagawa ng ating pong ano no ng ating pong mga restaurants and ng ating pong mga hotels. Okay? So ayan. And of course, no, pag pinag-usapan na natin ito, no, yung ating pong safety science and even yung ating pong risk management, isa sa ano no sa magandang way to conclude yung ating pong discussion on safety and sanitation, actually yung tinatawag po natin na ano no yung enterprise or risk no management framework kasi kailangan natin to ma-integrate. So ano pong ginagawa rito no? So the one of great frameworks or good frameworks ay ito nga no. So ginagawa siya first you identify After you identify, you assess the situation. After that, you control, monitoring, and then review. No? At titingnan natin kung sakali man na, ano, no, na successful tayo pagdating rito. And in the Philippine hospitality reality, we must recognize po no the gap between yung small scale operators and even yung mga large hotel chains and even the challenge of balancing compliant costs with sustainability. Kasi nga, syempre, pag pinag-usapan na natin itong ano, no, pag pinag-usapan natin itong risk management, hindi naman lahat pare-pareho na capacity no ng kanila pong pera at ng kanila pong budget pagdating po rito. Ayan. So these are my references no for our discussion for this session no, and of course as we leave this ano no as we leave this topic no, let me just also leave you with one final discussion question. In the Philippine hospitality industry, no, may I ask if how can safety and sanitation be transformed from a compliance requirement into a competitive advantage? Kasi alam natin that as of the moment, no, kapag pinag-usapan natin yung ano, no, pag pinag-usapan natin yung safety and sanitation, most likely iniisip nila ito na requirement siya kaya siya ginagawa. Pero gusto ko malaman yung inyong insights paano kaya ito magiging competitive advantage? And alam naman natin ang competitive advantage, this is somehow ano no, meron tayo or meron tayo ano no, meron tayo capacity na nasa atin ito at hindi ito present dun sa ating mga kalaban. That is the very reason kung bakit may advantage tayo over them. And of course, no, itong bagay na ito ay malaking usapin, most especially that you are to become hospitality managers. And that's it for our discussion about safety and sanitation in the food industry. And let me just grab the opportunity to thank everyone for attending our session and I hope to see you all on the succeeding ones. Until then, mag-iingat po sila.